Hello everyone, welcome to Chip Confessions. In this video, we are going to see how to write a constraint where there are two variables a and b such that a should be greater than 100 and b should take the value less than 150. Now let us start writing the constraint. For that we have to write a class first. Let us take class and name of the class be my class semicolon and end with end class. We have to declare the variables now. There are two variables, so rand, let us take bit 7 down to 0. We can take anything like bit, we can change the width to 15 down to 0 or 31 down to 0, or we can take any width, or we can even take int also. The thing is, int will generate huge numbers and it can even take the negative value. So we are just taking, for example sake, bit 7 down to 0. At your end, when you are trying, you can take any of the data types I said. So we shall declare a comma b. We can declare it like this, or we can declare separately. Like whatever we have declared here, same thing we will declare for b also. Let us take it together and see whether it will generate the numbers as per the conditions or not. Now we have to write a constraint block. Constraint, let the name of the constraint be C1. We have to enclose it in between the two flower brackets and we have to write the condition now. What is the condition? A should be greater than 100 and B should be less than 150. This is the condition mentioned that we have written here. Now we have to generate the values, that is we have to randomize. For that we have to take a module. Let the name of the module be td. We have to end it by end module. Now we have to declare the object of the class, that is my class mc is equal to new. We are writing the constructor here itself. We can write it even inside the initial block or outside the initial block also. Now we have to take an initial block, begin and end, and we have to randomize it. And for randomization, we shall randomize it for say some 5 times. We are taking a repeat loop, writing between begin and end. We have to randomize mc dot randomize, and then we are going to display the result of randomization, whether it is satisfying the constraints or not. A is equal to %d, comma b is equal to %d. To display in terms of decimal form, mc dot a, comma mc dot b. We have to access the class variables outside the class with the help of the class object. Now we have declared the variables, we have written the constraint also, and then we have randomized also. We have to see the result now. We have selected the simulator. Now we shall run the code and see what it is going to generate, whether it is satisfying the constraint or not. Yes, we are seeing a should be greater than 100. What we are getting? 167, 194. Okay, a is greater than 100, and we shall see whether b is less than 150. Yes, b is less than 150. Now the question comes is, can we write a single constraint for many number of variables? The answer is yes. We can write any number of conditions inside a single constraint, but the good coding practice is, when there are multiple variables, we have to write, for each variable we should write a different or the separate constraint. Now what we shall do is, we shall comment b here. We shall take another constraint block with the name c2 between two flower brackets and write b should be less than 150. Why this is a good coding practice, we can ask. The thing is, whenever we want to disable a constraint, then if we are writing all the condition inside a single constraint, means if we disable that particular constraint, it is going to disable all the condition and it will affect all the variables. So for each variable, if we write a different constraint or a separate constraint, then whenever we are disabling a constraint, it is going to disable the constraint for that particular variable without affecting the rest of the variables. We shall see it now. We have something called as constraint mode. Constraint mode, in between that we can give either 1 or 0. 1 says that the constraint mode is enabled, means the constraint will work. The next is constraint mode 0, which says the constraint is disabled. We shall check whether this is working or not here. We have both constraint mode and rand mode. Rand mode we shall see in our next session. Constraint mode we shall see now. Before randomization, let us say we are going to disable constraint C2. Okay, so we have to take the object first. Whatever the class property is there, or whatever the class container, means whatever we are writing inside the class, that has to be accessed outside the class with the help of the object only. If we do not use an object here, it will throw an error. So MC dot, we have to write the name of the constraint, that is C2, and then for that we are disabling the constraint mode by writing 0 inside. By default, a constraint will be enabled. Even though if we do not write constraint mode as 1, by default a constraint will be enabled. Explicitly, when we are disabling the constraint, at that time we have to use constraint mode, and inside the parenthesis we have to use 0. Let us see now, if we disable the constraint, still this randomization will work, but this condition will not be satisfied because this block itself will be disabled. Let us see what kind of values A and B are going to take now. Let us run the code. Yes, if we see here, A is obviously taking the values above 100, that is what we have defined inside this constraint. But B, if we see 89, 5, 9 and 48, they may be under 150, but it is crossing 150 also. Means like the value of B is not working according to the constraint, means it can take any value. It is not such like always it should take the value below 150. It can take any such values. Let us run this for some 10 times so that we can observe the output clearly. Let us run the code. So yes, we are seeing now B is crossing 150. Here it is taking 160, 228 and yes, 3 times it is crossing 150. So it means that the constraint is disabled for variable B. Let us do the same for variable A also and see what output it is going to generate. The name of constraint block for variable A is C1. So we are writing C1 here and we are disabling constraint for C1 also. Now both the constraint modes are disabled and these two variables can take any values by randomization. Let us run the code now. So yes, Here a should be greater than 100, but if we see here a is taking 5, 37, 74 and 9, which are less than 100. It is totally random, that every time we can't say like a will be taking this value only like that, but a can take any value now. And now let us check with b. The condition was b should be less than 150, but what we did, we disabled the constraint or the condition for that particular b variable, and now we can see it is going beyond 150. Here 188 and 192, 224, it is going beyond 150. So we can say both a and b are taking random values as these constraints are disabled. Now let us put as 1 here, and we can check the output whether it is satisfying the constraint or not. Yes, if we see now, it is satisfying the constraint, that is a should be greater than 100, a is greater than 100, and b should be less than 150. Yes, b is less than 150. So we got to know what is the advantage of writing multiple constraint blocks if we have different variables. It is a good coding practice to follow this by writing separate constraint if we have multiple variables, and those multiple variables has to be randomized with some limitations or the condition that has to be put on them in terms of constraints. This is all for this video. If you have any doubts, please put in the comment box so that I can address it in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any other constraint questions that need to be solved, that also you can put in the comment box. Thank you so much for watching this video. Keep coding and keep supporting. Please like and share this video, and please hit the subscribe button so that you will not miss an update for this series. Thank you so much. Have a great day.